God, bro.
Yeah.
It's hot out there. Stephen Cornell, KOR Sports here, the one and only Eddie Hearn. Man, the face-off was intense, right?
Yeah.
What, I mean, you were right there. What were they saying to each other?
I loved that shit. I mean, no, it was like he said, "I'm the fucking best in the world. I'm going to show you tomorrow night." And he was, Zorrillo was just sort of going like this and kissing his biceps, and he was winding up Regis nicely, actually. Regis looked ready to go. So I think we're going to get a great fight tomorrow night.
It's going to be a really great fight. I feel like maybe an underrated fight too, because Zorrillo's a tough guy.
He took a fight late notice against Barboza. A lot of people thought that he might have won that fight. It was a very close fight. The cards were wide, actually, if you watch the fight back. But he was training for a fight. He's had good prep for this fight. I think he looks good. Cotto and the team, they like their chances in this fight, and you got the old Puerto Rico t-shirt on, so we know what side you're on.
I was running out of the house, and I happen to be half Puerto Rican, but I mean, it was a pure mistake. Yeah. Thanks for pointing that out. No problem. Too. Appreciate that. The Rougarou was on stage.
Yeah, massive. That actually scared the life out of me.
I was going to say, you looked a little scared a little bit at one point.
It did scare the life out of me, actually, because it was a good touch. I like it.
It was good stuff, man. I know we talked yesterday, but I didn't get to ask you. Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford, finally got made. I know you talked about it before, and you were saying, it's a big fan to boxing fans, but maybe not to like. It's not. I believe you said something along the lines. It won't do like the market value.
It won't do anywhere near the buys of Ryan against Tank, because that was a different kind of following. But I do think it will reach out to the wider audience because it's such a good fight. And I think once you tell the story, once people understand it is the best v the best, then you will. But it is more of a, it's definitely more of a fight fan's fight. Like every fight fan is desperate to see that fight. But that's the job of the promotion, to reach out to that wider audience.
So you don't see it doing 1.3?
Nowhere near, no. Oh, listen, I think it does 500, 600. That's still fantastic. I mean, I don't know if Tank against Ryan did 1.3. I've heard 800, I've heard 700, I've heard 900, I've heard a minute. But anyway, it's fantastic, whatever it did. But I don't think this fight hits those numbers. But still, if you do 500,000 pay-per-view buys, that's still a tremendous number in this market.
Is that? I mean, I heard the numbers again. The rumors for Canelo's were, I'd be able to say 500 to 600.
For which fight?
For Canelo versus Ryder.
No, not as many as that, but a lot more than what was reported by people that wanted to think it was unsuccessful.
Does it do better than Canelo Ryder, do you think?
It should do. I mean, look, Canelo rates all the time, but Spence Crawford, I mean, it's arguably the biggest fight in the sport.
How does Terence Crawford deal with Errol Spence's beautiful jab, pressure, body attack?
He's very good, isn't he? I mean, he's a tremendous fighter, so he knows how to deal with all those things. It's a 50-50 fight. I just like Crawford because I think he's fresher. And I'm talking about the car accident, I'm talking about the retina tear, I'm talking about a few tough fights as well in there. I'm talking about consistently making 147 pounds, which I think is very tough for Errol Spence every time. Terence Crawford's coming up from 135, 140, 147. And I like his demeanour, I like his aura. He has a lot of confidence, and it's just a great fight, 50-50 fight.
You said you lean towards more Terence. Is it more like a knockout decision? How do you see Terence
points,
doing?
But maybe a late stoppage. It depends at what pace the fight is fought at. You see, when there's a fight that's anticipated at that, sometimes they come out firing, sometimes it's cagey. I look at like Canelo Triple G3. It's like you expect that to light up in the first 3 or 4 rounds, and then 7 rounds they're still sort of feeling each other out, and it becomes a little bit more technical. It may be like that, but Crawford is, he's a lively fighter.
Yeah, no, that's a great one, man. I can't wait. Edgar Berlanga's fighting next week. I realized we didn't talk about that either. Against Jason Quigley. First fight with you guys here at Matchroom. A lot of plans for Edgar Berlanga. Just I feel like, I don't know, right? I don't know what your plans are, but I feel like the perfect kind of fight for Edgar at some point soon, I would think, would be a Diego Pacheco, because you got the Mexico versus Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think in time, but right now, our trajectory for Berlanga is to land him a super fight in the next 3 fights. But Quigley first, then we need to step up. Munguia, I think, is a great fight. Billy Joe Saunders, I think it's a great fight. And then if he can come through there, then you're talking about Canelo Alvarez, Benavidez, the likes. He's going to be. We've seen from the interest. You'll see next week. It'll be wild at Madison Square Garden. Like this guy is a box office star. But you got to produce the performances. You got to get people believing that you can be competitive in those fights, and next week is the start of that.
I was going to say that's a fast trajectory. I feel like Billy Joe after this fight.
Yeah, but it has to. You know, if you want to fight Canelo, if you want to fight those fights, you have to win that fight against a top 5 guy. You know.
Yeah, very true. Just lastly, Eddie, I just saw right now, waiting in line to talk to you. I know Tyson Fury's been talking about fighting John Jones recently. Supposedly the UFC sent a contract for like some kind of, not mixed martial art, but I guess maybe not MMA completely, but like a different combat rules fight. I don't know. I mean, is that something?
I don't know. You never know with Tyson Fury. Anything's possible.
Yeah. John Jones and Tyson Fury. I mean, how does obviously in a boxing
it's a terrible
match,
mismatch. You know? Yeah. In either format, it's a terrible mismatch.
Right. Francis Ngannou, I know he's been in talks with the likes of Tyson Fury. I want to say Deontay Wilder, but I feel like I haven't heard anything on the Anthony Joshua side. Is that something?
No, it's not really. AJ wants to fight Deontay Wilder. You know, he wants to fight Tyson Fury. He wants to be in those big boxing fights. I don't rule out an Ngannou fight, but it's not on the radar at the moment.
I heard Dillian White was a possibility. Is that
possibly,
maybe not
but
so
I'm
much?
not sure that'll happen August 12th.
Well, it's not looking good. It looked like it was looking good for a while.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Anything can happen.
Not so much anymore. Eddie, thank you so much for your time,
problem.
sir. Appreciate it.